Hello, and welcome to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics. Today is Monday, 5 August. I'm your host Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence. Every weekday we bring you not just the news, but the so what from events and decisions that are shaping our world. So grab a coffee and get ready to be informed. In today's update, we'll be covering protesters storming the Prime Minister's palace in Bangladesh, North Korea moving 250 missile launches to their southern border, and Namibia is set to impose visa requirements in over 30 countries. So firstly, Bangladesh's Prime Minister has resigned and fled to India amid escalating protests that have turned violent, leading to numerous deaths. The unrest, initially sparked by student-led demonstrations against the controversial quota system for government jobs, has grown into broader anti-government protests. Hasina, who faced accusations of using state institutions to maintain power and suppress dissent, left her position after weeks of deadly clashes, with reports indicating nearly 100 fatalities, including police officers. The country's military chief has announced the formation of an interim government and has lifted a curfew that had been in place in Dhaka and other regions. The protests gained momentum despite the government's acceptance of a Supreme Court ruling to reduce the veterans quota system from 30% to 5%, with most jobs now allocated based on merit. The movement's expansion reflects widespread dissatisfaction for Hasina's rule and allegations that opposition parties have hijacked the protests. With over 11,000 arrests made, the military promised to investigate the crackdowns, and its call for calm indicate a volatile and uncertain future for Bangladesh's political landscape. So what? And what was a shock to many, this is the culmination of weeks of anti-government protests. This type of protest is the ultimate fear for many global leaders, and shows that sometimes once anti-government movements start, nothing can slow them down, not even giving in to their demands. While it is likely she'll return to the country, she probably fled to ensure her safety, as the mob can be a brutal judge. Hopefully, there can now be new elections and a new government installed in a timely fashion, with the people showing their will around certain decisions. However, numerous social issues will remain in the country, possibly leading to further violence. And next, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the delivery of 250 nuclear-capable missile launches to its military along the southern border, according to South Korean state media. Kim described these launches as up-to-date tactical attack weapons that he designed personally. The event, which took place on Sunday, featured a ceremony with Army green launcher trucks, thousands of spectators and fireworks. The move is seen as a demonstration of force amid heightening tensions on the Korean peninsula, with North Korea frequently testing weapons and deploying unconventional tactics such as sending trash-filled balloons over the border. Tensions have escalated between the North and South as they have engaged in provocative actions. South Korea has resumed broadcasts of propaganda and pop music over the DMZ and restarted live fire drills, while North Korea has declared South Korea its principal enemy and has ceased cooperation and outreach programs with the South. Kim justified the increased militarization as necessary to counter what he sees as strategic shift by the US and its allies towards nuclear-based military alliances. The newly deployed launchers are capable of delivering tactical ballistic missiles, enhancing North Korea's nuclear readiness and adding to its growing arsenal designed to challenge both regional and international security measures. So what? Though the threat of a conflict on the Korean peninsula can never be ruled out, it still appears highly unlikely. While Kim may be emboldened by his new friendship with Russia, they almost certainly have no resources to spare while engaged in Ukraine. Additionally, it is likely that they would need permission from China to conduct such actions, something they are unlikely to get unless it was part of a broader invasion strategy by China. It is more likely that this is just part of a modernization process funded by the recent sale of ammunition to Russia and will just lead to more saber rattling on the peninsula. And lastly, Namibia has announced plans to adjust its visa policy. Starting from April next year, citizens from over 30 countries, including the US, Germany, and Japan, will need to obtain a visa and pay around $90 for the privilege. This move is in response to Namibia's lack of reciprocal visa entry, as they often face lengthy and challenging processes when entering countries such as Germany. The decision, according to the Minister of Hospitality, is aimed to ensure fairness and equality for Namibian citizens. Similar adjustments are also being seen in other countries, such as Brazil, which plans to reinstate visa requirements for certain developed countries. While the new visa policy reflects Namibia's desire to assert itself and change narratives on the continent, there are concerns about its impact on the tourism industry and foreign investment. Namibia's tourism sector contributes significantly to its overall GDP, and there are fears that the visa fee could deter some tourists, particularly from lower and middle markets. The government has yet to clarify several aspects of the policy, including how it will affect day travellers from neighbouring countries and the process for ensuring travellers do not have criminal records. So what? Much like the story indicates, this move may hurt the country in the short and medium term. Though it is likely the country will continue to see travellers for tourism, it will significantly impact travellers from not so wealthy nations who may be put off and look for a regional alternative. This could lead to neighbouring countries capitalising on the situation through advertising and marketing campaigns. Additionally, if it starts to have a significant effect on tourism, you may see tour companies offering to cover the costs of the visa or protesting against the government. It is possible that the Namibian government is doing this as a way to try and get a better visa deal for its citizens, but this is unlikely to occur. Thank you for listening to the Intel Briefing, your daily intelligence brief on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. If you want to support the podcast, tell your friends to help them stay informed and leave us a 5-star review. Or if you want to learn more about intelligence, why not take one of our courses? They are all online, self-paced, and affordable. You can find a link for them in the description below. Thank you for listening. I've been your host Daniel, and I'll see you next time.